I'm going to show you how to go from this to this. Hey, today I'm going to show you how to look amazing for your medical school interview. Because to be honest, the first impression is really one of the most important things that you can get. And with this online format, there's so many things that you have to get right to make sure that that first encounter really looks good. Number one, the most important thing in terms of visual quality is the lighting that you use. And in order to get really good lighting, what I did was I went on Amazon and I bought one of those studio lights. It was relatively cheap. It was around $20 to $30 if I remember correctly. And overall, it provides really good lighting. But let's say you don't have the budget for that lighting. What else can you use? In my opinion, the best thing is find some natural light and sit really close to it, and as close as you can. And the reason why I state that the lighting is the most important aspect is that even if you have a camera such as your laptop camera, in which you would usually use, that camera can look really nice if you have proper lighting. And I'm going to demonstrate it here with my laptop camera right now. So now I'm going to turn on a studio or just a light source. So as you can see, I turned on the light and the quality is already better. So even if you don't have the budget for a 1080p camera, just getting a really good light source can take you a long way in making you look better. So as you saw, the lighting is very important. So if you skimp out on one thing, try not to skimp out on the lighting. If you can get natural light or any type of studio light that can really focus the light on you, use that and it'll give you much more excellent quality, even if you're using a camera that's not a webcam, for example. So the second thing that I would recommend in terms of looking really nice is, of course, the webcam itself. And so the webcam that I would recommend is the Logitech C920, and this is the staple. This is the perfect webcam for looking great. It has 1080p options, and it overall is really good in terms of its price point and in terms of making sure that you can look good for your interview. And once again, though, if you do not have the money for this camera, you can instead use natural lighting to make yourself look good. But lighting and this camera together, now you're looking amazing. You're looking pretty nice. So now let's say you're still using your laptop camera. One thing I would recommend is that you somehow find a way to prop up the laptop camera. The advantage of the webcam is that it's already propped up onto something. For example, for me, it's on the monitor right now, and that's what's holding it up. Let's say you don't have that. And for a laptop, you also want to do that so it looks like you're, I guess, head level to the person you're talking to. Sometimes with a laptop, if it's on a table that's lower than you, it can look like someone's looking at your chin instead of up your nose. So you want to make sure that even if you don't have a webcam, that it's positioned in such a way that you can get the best out of the camera itself. So the third thing that I would recommend is getting a good microphone. Now the microphone that I'm using for this video right now is it's a lapel mic that I got on Amazon, and it was pretty cheap. I think it was around $15 to $20 Canadian. But I wouldn't recommend a lapel mic for your interviews because they can be really finicky, and it takes a lot of post-production to make it sound good. You don't want that. You want this live and you want it to sound good live. And what I would recommend for that is a Blue Yeti microphone. I think I saw one on Best Buy for $70, but don't worry. When you get all of these items, you can always return them because this is only one day of interview. There might be other ways to rent this equipment as well if you don't have it. But let's say out of all three of these things, the microphone, the webcam, and the lighting, you could only choose one of them. Personally, I would choose the sound. Sound is very important in terms of the interviewer understanding what you are exactly saying. Because, as we said, you can get lighting from natural light and it can look really good. But if you can get all three of these in combination, you're going to set yourself up for a fantastic interview. So you don't need to worry about you not looking good because you've set everything up to make you look good. Now the last thing that I'm going to talk about is basically a setting in Zoom. Now, naturally, if you have a webcam that is 1080p or 720p, so 720p cameras are usually the ones on your laptops, and the 1080p camera, like the one I'm using right now, is 1080p. So both of them are HD, but the problem with Zoom is if you go in the settings, in the video settings, by default it sets the quality of the camera to turn off HD settings. So even if you had a 1080p webcam, it wouldn't be able to display that HD level because Zoom turns it off. The same for your laptop. Even though it's 720p, it turns off the HD setting on that camera. So even if you don't buy anything, make sure that HD setting is turned on to at least give you that look. And the last thing that I can say, and I might make a follow-up video if people are interested, is that for this interview, do not use Wi-Fi if you can use Ethernet cables. Again, do not use Wi-Fi if you have the ability to use an Ethernet cable. And the whole reason I say this is because there's no reason for you to have instability in internet connection when you're talking to someone. When you see people freezing in and out, that has nothing to do with the speed of their internet, if it's often greater than 10 megabytes per second download speed. Really, the biggest issue is the Wi-Fi signals are not reaching that area properly. So if you have an Ethernet cable, connect that straight to your computer or laptop if your laptop can support Ethernet cables, and connect it to your router. Go with it from there, because you will have a insanely smooth internet connection, and it'll fix many of the hiccups you might see with Wi-Fi, and you'll have a smooth experience, so you don't need to worry about any of that. The only thing that you need to worry about is the interview itself. So with that, if you want to see more in terms of the Ethernet stuff, please let me know. But I think those are the basic recommendations I would give to make sure that you look amazing during that interview. So thank you so much for watching. I wish you all the best of luck on your online medical school interviews. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe for more medical school videos from me, and I'll see you in the next one.